Since the news of Olivia's death came through, people have been coming down here to lay floral tributes, including a member of her own family who understandably didn't want to talk on camera, but spoke of the family's shock and how they just couldn't comprehend what had happened to their 9-year-old cousin. There were some heartbreaking tributes attached to the flowers in tribute to the 9-year-old. Some of them now, clearly written by a child, this one said, "We will always miss you in class. Nobody can replace you." Another said that the tragedy had turned the city upside down. And another from a cousin said, "Rest in paradise, Liv. The best there ever was. Ride your bike high. Love you, cuz." Understandably, this whole community is still in shock. As you say, one man, the original target of the shooting, has now been arrested. That's obviously been welcomed here, but there is still a long way to go in this investigation. We've been speaking to some of the community here today.
Last week, this street was no different to others in this corner of Liverpool. But now a dark cloud hangs over it. Slowly, the reality of what happened here 2 nights ago is sinking in. A 9-year-old girl, Olivia Pratt-Korbell, has lost her life. Shot in her own home as her mum struggled to stop a stranger, and then the gunman who was chasing him from forcing their way in. Police confirmed today that the intended target is still in hospital, but would be recalled to prison for breaching the terms of his release.
The target of the discharge has now been recalled on licence, and that has taken place with immediate effect. So that man is now under arrest, albeit he's still receiving medical treatment at this time. I hope that this shows again Merseyside's police's approach around this terrible and tragic crime, that it will actually take enforcement action against the target of that shooting.
Police say the man will be questioned in connection with Olivia's murder. He's understood to be Joseph Nee, a 35-year-old man from the same Dovecot area in which Olivia lived. He was jailed for 45 months in 2018 after leading police on a high-speed chase. But the masked gunman is still at large, leaving a grieving community feeling on edge. And how does it make you feel that this has happened so close to where you live?
Terrible. And scary and unsafe and angry.
What have you said to your children? Have they asked you any questions about what's happened?
The younger one, who is a girl, she just turned 13. She's already on her phone looking for other places to move because she is scared.
Olivia's death is the 3rd fatal shooting in Liverpool in the last week. In a series of raids this morning, Merseyside police tried to track down some of those behind the violence.
On the stairs to the left.
But to catch those responsible for Olivia's death, police are appealing for people who know the attackers to come forward. A local community centre has set up an anonymous drop box so they can pass on information.
There's been a really strong sense that the community absolutely wants these perpetrators caught and caught quickly, and that's come through today. And so any information that comes to us, we'll pass it on, and hopefully that empowers the community to feel enabled to pass on information.
And do you think people will actually use the box?
It's already been used, so we've had individuals come and talk to us and give us information that we've passed on.
But for those without the answers, there's questions that people ponder while sitting in quiet contemplation in the local church.
Outside the church, they're not even asking questions, they're just saying, you know, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to think, I don't know how to feel, because this is beyond most people's experience, really.
The shocking killing of a 9-year-old girl will never leave this community. There'll be time later for the whys, but for now their burning question is who.
It's worth remembering there is a lot of fear here. As I said in my report, 3 people have died in the last week alone from gun crime, and there's non-fatal shootings too. We spoke with some people down here earlier, just a few streets from here, who said 2 weeks ago they heard what they initially thought was fireworks, and when they looked out the window they realised it was someone shooting someone who was cycling a bike and they were in the car. Now, no one was injured in that, fortunately, but there have been mutterings that that shooting was linked to what happened here with Olivia on Monday. Police today said no specific links have been confirmed, but it will form part of their investigation into the death of Olivia. It's fair to say that the hunt for Olivia's killer is continuing at pace, and for all the talk of fears that the community won't come forward, police have praised the community so far, and the people that we've spoken today have said that they're confident that the killer will be found, that this is different. This is a 9-year-old girl. People are coming forward and they're confident that arrests will be made soon.
Thank you, Anya. Anya reporting in Liverpool. Well, police officer John Williams helped investigate some of the most notorious murders in Liverpool in recent years. A deputy chief inspector who worked in the major crime unit. He retired earlier this year after 30 years of service with Merseyside Police. He joins me now. We saw in Anya's report there armed police and strike teams. I just wondered, what kind of impact do you think that will have on this case and also the other cases as well?
Knowing my colleagues in the police, I'm certain they would have taken all the facts together, and I'm hoping that the message that they are being proactive will reassure our community. I'm hoping that it will be saying to the criminal elements out there that they will pursue all lines of inquiries to hold them accountable for this heinous crime. Condolences to the family of Olivia. I wouldn't even guess how they're feeling at this stage, but I always say that evil can only prosper if good people stand by and do nothing, and I'm certain there's somebody out there who will know the identity of the person or persons behind this horrendous offence, and I don't think it should take the police appealing for them to come forward. I think they've got a moral obligation to do the right thing and pick up the phone and let's get this person and these weapons off the streets.
You say there's someone out there, there'll be someone or somebody or people out there who know, but how difficult will it be for them to speak out? How difficult and how much fear is there with speaking out?
There are different means in which they can communicate with the police, so they can ring the Crime Stoppers number, which I'm certain is advertised nationally. They can only always contact the police covertly, and that won't reveal their identity. They can use a number of means, whether it's a phone call, whether it's social media. But again, it's calling into the police station, finding your local neighbourhood team and speak to the police. The police, you've got trained officers, trained staff who will ensure that this information is handled in a sensitive manner. And if people are unwilling to provide statements, the police can always protect their identity and ensure, because the primary motive, objective now is to get those who have committed such a horrendous act and to get those weapons off the streets.
But how difficult is it to investigate these particular crimes?
There are difficulties that you face. The codes, there's certain codes on the street about the non-grass, you don't speak to the police. But every murder I've solved have been solved not because of the excellence of me or the staff. It relies on the community. The community, the information the community provide to the police is essential to getting a successful resolution. And again, I am certain, I've lived in Merseyside for over 30 years, and I know the community. I was privileged to serve the community, and I know the people out there who will do the right thing and take the right action to bring this to some sort of early arrest. And let's try and get this weapon off the streets.
What do you make of the rise in gun crime at the moment?
It saddens me for the main reason is that I know Merseyside Police has invested heavily in reducing such offences, and year on year we've seen it decrease. It's sad that we've had so many offences in such a short space of time, but I'm reassured by the actions they are taking now to clamp down on it. You know, everyone noticed the increased police presence, the vigilance, but we still need support from the community. We still need their help because the police alone can't do this.